And then you guys get to thankfully hear from our rock star agent, Tharmila, who's our superstar in Toronto. And she's going to be talking to you about, what our group does differently and how you can, become a partner of, the movement that we have with eXp and what we do above and beyond, and how this is changing the lives of so many people. Because I turned a blind eye to it. Tharmila turned a blind eye to it until we properly understood this model. And to see, how much growth Tharmila has had, she's taking over an entire city as a brand new agent and has mastered marketing. And this is what's really cool to see, is that, when you're pairing with the right organization, when you understand the right tools, strategies, and things that you can do to scale the modern way, you can get results like Tharmila is getting, which are uncanny to what I've seen anywhere else. And that's why we have a very strong, well-performing video on my YouTube channel together. So Tharmila, I will pass it over to you if anybody has any Q&A, and let you show people the magic that we're working with here.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get the presentation started. And folks, if you guys have any questions at the end, please, you can leave them in the chat box and I'm happy to get to them at the end of the presentation. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. I am super excited to be here with you. I always like to start off my presentation with a quote, and I really want to set the tone here. And what this says is, the fortune favors the prepared mind. So I want you to keep this in mind as we go through the presentation, because I want you to have an open mind as we go through this, and it will make a lot of sense to you as we get to the end of the presentation. So my name is Tharmila Rajasingam. I'm excited to be here with you. And what we're going to do for the next couple of minutes is to go through a step-by-step detailed explanation of eXp Realty. And I want to give you a really good idea about this incredibly powerful brokerage and why it's changing the lives of many agents, including mine and my partners. And here at eXp, we call it the wealth creation model. So I'm going to start off with a little introduction about myself to give you guys a little context. Then we're going to do a little overview of the eXp business model. I'm going to walk you through the eXp compensation structure. And then I'm going to take you into the cloud, do a live demonstration of the eXp cloud-based campus and show you the backend offerings that we have in terms of training, tools, resources. And then I'm going to wrap everything up with what our group is doing differently and why we're breaking record at the company, as Mike alluded to. And then I'm going to take some Q&A, and I can answer any questions that you might have at this moment. There is going to be a lot of information that's going to be shared with you in the next couple of minutes. So it's just intended for you to listen, and don't try to write everything down, because I do tend to talk really fast. So sit back, listen, let us sink in, and ask all of your questions at the end. So before we jump into the value, I do wanted to give you a brief introduction and give you some context. I am from Toronto, Ontario. I'm originally from Jaffna, Sri Lanka. I lived in the greater Toronto area for 22 plus years. My husband, Josh, and I, who you might have seen on our social media and YouTube channel, we really started in the industry as investors. So we recognized that we were missing out on opportunities when we would go out to meetup events. And we found out that we needed access to more information. And the only way to have access to more information on the back end of properties that we were investing, and even for our own joint venture deals, was to get our license. So I got my license at the beginning of October 2020, and we joined eXp Realty. And I worked in marketing for over 9+ years, primarily working for the government and not-for-profit sector. And I also co-founded an agency called Marketing and Mindset for real estate professionals. And I'm also top 3% at our company for revenue share organization. And I will explain to you what that all means in a moment. Next, Josh and I, when we first started in the industry, we were first introduced to eXp Realty through Mike Sherrard, who was with us just a moment ago. Mike, as you guys know, he's a global social media coach. He's #1 on social media in Calgary and Alberta. He is the co-founder of our group, Agent Wolfpack, with his partner, Connor Steinbrook, who's located in Dallas, Texas. And really, the past 18 months, we've created this record-breaking group here at eXp, becoming the fastest growing group ever, with the most producing agents in our group, being part of this company that really is changing the industry. And Mike has not only, and I do really wanted to say this and stress, Mike Sherrard, and he mentioned this a little bit, he is not only has the highest number of FLA, so what that means is personally sponsored agents, but he's also broken the record for the highest number of producing agents at our company worldwide. So what we're doing differently here is we're leading with value. We're doing something a little different. And that's why everyone wants to be around Mike and us and our training that we provide. And before I jump into the presentation or go through all the things that we do offer, I'm going to really come back to this and touch upon it in more detail for you and show you some examples of what it's doing to other agents in our group. So now I want to help you understand a few things here that makes eXp really unique. So eXp was founded in 2009. It launched in Canada in 2012. And in the past month, we grew to 65,000 plus agents worldwide, becoming the fastest growing company in North American history. The first thing here that I want to talk about is this idea of ownership. So eXp is publicly traded on the NASDAQ. So in 2018, as you can see, eXp World Holding joined NASDAQ with the ticker symbol EXPI. And last year, we were one of top 10 performing stocks in the world on NASDAQ. And just by being an agent at eXp, you do get ownership at eXp. And the funny thing is, we tell our agents that ownership is more important than renting, right? However, what you don't know is most agents are actually renting their real estate business because you don't get ownership at any of the real estate brokerages. Whereas at eXp, you actually own your real estate business. We are an agent-owned brokerage. We are an agent-centric model. So now the next thing I want to dive into aside from ownership is where that red arrow is pointing at. And it's why a lot of top producing agents are switching their licenses over to eXp and is making a massive difference for them. So one of the things you're going to notice throughout this presentation is this common theme that we at eXp, you're going to get compensated more for doing the exact same thing you would be doing at any other brokerage. So and you might be thinking, oh, do I have to go attract a bunch of agents? No, you can attract 0 agents for the rest of your life, and you'll likely make a lot more money here than any other brokerage. And trust me, if you want to see it, I will show you numbers, and I will break down your own personal numbers to compare to what you could be doing here at our company. So let me talk to you about what this ICON program, which launched in 2015, has done for many agents. So at a typical brokerage, when you hit a certain milestone, you get a trophy, you get a plaque. I'm sure some of you got in a bottle of wine and champagne, something like that, right? It looks cool, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't do anything for your business. So here at eXp, we have something called the ICON program. So at eXp, we are at an 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap. So once you cap, you do go to 100% commission where you keep all of that. And then if you were to complete 20 plus additional deals after capping, you become an ICON agent. So once you become an ICON agent, this is where it gets really exciting. So eXp fully reimburses your entire $16,000 cap back to you in free company stock. So this is the first time in history of a brokerage based on an agent's production. They fully reimburse them every dollar they paid the company back in form of ownership. So if that's not incredible enough for you to get that $16,000 back every year instead of a trophy, now let's look at what the numbers have done for people who've been at the company for the last 5 years. So let's put this into perspective. So let's say for the past 5 years, you got your $16,000 back in company stock. And if you're keeping an eye on the company's stock performance and the company, which is exponentially growing, again, becoming the fastest growing brokerage ever in history, you're going to look at what this number has done for many agents. So let's say if you got your $16,000 back for the last 5 years, that's $16,000 times 5. What is that, $80,000? So based on where the stock has gone over the 5 years, that would have turned into $2.4 million. Yeah, $2.4 million, more than what you would have had at any other brokerage. So again, like I said, the moral of the story here is you have the ability to get compensated for more for doing the exact same thing you would be doing at any other brokerage. We are an international company, which gives you this ability to partner with people internationally for the international collaboration, which is why we have people here right now tuning in from South Africa, for example. We had people tuning in from India in some of our calls. So we have this powerful global referral network. So if you have somebody who's going to be moving from, let's say, Portugal to Canada, you can make a referral off of that. So you can build team across the world. This is why Kyle and I are here, and we're collaborating with people across worldwide, building our team. So we have access to live online trainings around the world by icon agents. Remember, those are the top producing agents. We are opening in a different country every few months. So if you're following eXp Realty on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, you'll see those announcements coming through. So now I want to talk about the company growth. So as I mentioned earlier, just a couple of weeks ago, we did surpass 65,000 plus agents recently, which is really exciting. Again, becoming the fastest growing company in North American history. And you're probably thinking, okay, why is that important? Let's talk about the idea of being an early adapter. So you're an entrepreneur, you know that when you're early at something, you're going to get rewarded fairly compared to someone who waits for an opportunity to plateau, right? For example, imagine if you were to buy Tesla stocks 10 years ago. You're probably doing pretty well today, right? Same thing with Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple. With eXp, we're still in the ground floor of this incredible opportunity, which is why people are getting rewarded heavily compared to those that wait, like Mike, like Connor, and like people in our upline. So to give you a little bit of context about where the company is projected to go, so because we're at 65,000 agents right now, they made an announcement at eXpCon that they are projected to grow to 500,000 agents in the next 5 years, 1 million in the next 10. So the opportunity is truly now, it's in infancy. It is still on an exponential growth phase. So again, we're very, very early to take advantage of this incredible opportunity. So before we dive a little deeper into the model, I do want to take an opportunity to dispel some myths here, because you hear it all online, right? You hear a lot of people saying that eXp doesn't produce, they attract, or they don't close any deals, they just recruit, all this nonsense. I like to actually let the numbers do their talking. You can't argue with math and numbers. So the data comes out, this data that you're looking at right now comes out every year. And 2021 stats should be coming out shortly. On the left-hand side, you're looking at the sales volume of closed deal per agent right here for eXp versus the top 3 brokerages in North America. So now let me explain it to you why this is happening. Obviously, you can see the eXp number right there. When you save time and reinvest time into income producing activity, your income goes up. So that's why I'm going to show you the cloud, the training, all of our backend offerings that are being given to eXp agents for them to have their productions and sales go up. And that's why you're looking at that number. And this gives you this really unique opportunity to save a lot of time, learn better strategies, increase your production. And you can see right here on the right-hand side, eXp not only allowed agents to sell more homes, but eXp is actually the #1 independent brokerage in North America in terms of sales volume per agent. As you can see here, not only did eXp grow substantially versus the top 3 brokerages in North America, and you can see not only did these other brokerage grow by very little, they also lost agents in the past year. And remember, keep in mind, all of this happened during the pandemic. While the world was in a state of emergency, eXp was growing exponentially. And this is the part that a lot of people miss out on, right? Is that there are people that were actually, because of COVID, real estate was actually deemed an essential service in some parts of the world, right? So for agents overnight, now they couldn't hold open houses anymore. They couldn't show properties. And some of the agents, their income went to zero overnight. But at eXp, we have 3 income streams. So every other agent at other brokerages was making no money. We at eXp, we were still making thousands of dollars every single month based on additional income streams that we have. So obviously, as you can see here, that you become vulnerable, you put your family in a vulnerable situation when you rely solely on one income stream. Right? So especially when you can get affected by unforeseen circumstances like COVID. So now let's take a look at our compensation structure and how this unique financial model is really giving an opportunity for a lot of our agents to make and earn more income. So at eXp, we do have 3 income streams. And before we dive into those, let's talk about why this matters. And I think it's really important here because a lot of agents get into the industry not only because we love working with people, but because we want to build wealth and create a lifestyle, of course, that's flexible for us and our family, right? So let's talk about wealth, for example. We all know that wealth requires 4 things, which is duplication, equity, multiple streams of income, and residual income. At eXp, we have all 4 components of the wealth quadrant. At a traditional brokerage, they have none because they have one income stream, like I said earlier, that requires your time invested in creating it. So being an agent here at eXp, you can actually create wealth. So when you're an agent at any other brokerage, you can't create wealth, despite you getting into this industry to create wealth. So at eXp, I also want to talk about this idea of lifestyle. So of course, we all know that lifestyle requires 2 things, right? Money freedom and time freedom. You can get money freedom in any other brokerages in the world. You can make a ton of money, and I understand that. However, you can't create time freedom because, again, you have one income streams that requires your time invested in creating it. So you don't invest your time, you don't make any money, you don't enjoy the lifestyle that you're working to build. Whereas at eXp, we have 3 income streams. It allows you to give your time back to you so that you can create the lifestyle that you truly want, which is why here at eXp, we are called a lifestyle brokerage. So now let's take a moment to dive into these equity opportunities that you have here at our company. So there are 5 different ways for you to get equity ownership here at eXp. So let's break these stock awards down for you. So every year, just by the nature of being an agent here, when you close your first transaction, you do get $200 USD in free company stock. And every year when you cap and pay your $16,000, you get an additional $400 in free company stock. And now that if you decided to leverage our optional agent attraction opportunity and you bring your friends into the company, which I'll get into in a moment, what that all means. And if they were to close their first deal, whenever they come in, you will get an additional $400 USD in free company stock. Next is the Icon Award, which I did touch on earlier. Again, once you cap and you close 20 plus deal, you get your entire $16,000 back in free company stock. And then we have here at the end is the equity program. It's an optional equity opportunity we have at the company, which is where you can opt in, opt out at any time, where you have the option to enroll and take 5% of your commission and put it towards buying company stock at a 10% discount. Now, as you can imagine, having this opportunity to get discount on equity, really discounted equity at a ground floor of a company that's growing so quickly, you could imagine why agents at our company is taking full advantage of this opportunity. Now, this is the one you probably all heard of, which is called our revenue share. This is the monthly distribution where our company of our company dollar, where the eXp retains 50% of his revenue and they're giving it back to our agent in form of revenue share. So eXp just announced at eXpCon, which is our eXp annual conference that took place just last week at Las Vegas, which myself and Kyle attended. eXp has given $124 million of his revenue back to their agent in 2021 alone. Isn't that powerful? Why that's important is because people have this stigma, this false assumption that eXp is this pyramid. I want to take a moment to break down a traditional brokerage for you compared to eXp. At a traditional brokerage, you have the owners. I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say RE/MAX. You got the designated franchise, RE/MAX Ontario. Then you got a RE/MAX Toronto. And then you have the owners of each of the RE/MAX branches within the RE/MAX Toronto. And then you have the managers, brokers, and then the agents. And now let's say when you're at one of those brokerages and you were to close a deal, let's say it's the same as the eXp, 80-20 split with 80% going to the agent, 20% go to the company. That 20% is going to go straight to the top. You'll never see it again. And it goes towards really helping to finance the broker's lifestyle, not yours. So at eXp, you have the ownership. So as an agent at eXp, when you close a deal, so it's again 80-20 split, 80% going to you, 20% goes to the company. And this is where the company, eXp, takes 50% of their revenue and it comes back to the agent for helping them grow the company. So now you're probably wondering how this all works. So let's start walking you through really this revenue share chart. So what you're looking at right now is actually modeled after the similar 7-tier system that Keller Williams uses. But the only difference here is that we share revenue before expenses. They share profit after expenses. And you all know how profit and expenses and revenue, all of that good stuff works, is because there's a massive difference when you start looking at the numbers. So the reason why this is so important, the 7 tiers, not only do you have access to the 7 tier deep below you in terms of compensation, a lot of people miss here is that you have 7 tiers of valuable people giving you free training, resources, mentorship. For very similar example that we have Mike and Connor and Pat and so many others above us that are helping us, really fueling our business. The only thing I want to say here is that, people make a lot of assumption that you have to put a lot of energy into attraction, and you don't. You'll notice that in this industry, that when you get your license, people in your network are naturally going to approach you and they're going to ask you what brokerage you're at. And the unfortunate part is that you're probably going to get $0 for recommending someone to that brokerage. Now, if you do the exact same thing at eXp, you actually get a solid income stream out of it. So as I mentioned earlier, when you start looking at the numbers of how you get compensated for more, again, for doing the same thing. So let me break this down for you. And I'm going to use a very basic example to help you understand this, because it can get a little complicated. And I'm going to go a little slow here. So obviously I have my own, looking at this, my own 7 tiers. So does every other agent who joined eXp. So let's say I bring someone named John into the company, to the eXp. He would be in my first tier, right? That first line. And now let's say John closes a $10,000 commission. So very easy numbers. That's that 3% what you're looking at on 3.5% at tier 1. So 3.5% out of $10,000 is $350, correct? So at eXp, we are on an 80-20 split with $80,000 going to John, who's the agent, 20% going to $2,000 going to eXp. And out of that company dollar, not John's money, out of the company's $2,000, I would receive $350. So out of the $2,000 that went to the company, I would get 3.5% for the total commission paid to the company. So it doesn't touch the agent's commission. So now I want to give you a second example. So let's say John brings his friend Sarah, for example, and they close a $10,000 deal. So let's say Sarah closes a $10,000 deal. And the 2 percentages added together here on tier 2 totals to 4%. So 4% of $10,000 is $400. So again, 80-20 split, 80% $8,000 going to Sarah, 20% $2,000 going to eXp. Out of eXp's company dollar, I would receive $400 for that transaction, and so on and so forth, as you can see. So you can start to see now that how quickly and substantially quickly how this can grow. So my partners at my upline now make 6-figure income per month residually after being at the company for a minimum of 5 years. As you can see here, how quickly this can grow. Let's say you personally sponsor 5 capping agents. So that's 5 times 2,800, because the capping agent, that's the cap for the 2,800 per agent. So that's $14,000 a year. Now, let's say those 5 agents that you personally sponsored go out and sponsor their own 5 agents each. That's 25 agents times 3,200. Remember, because of that percentage. So 3,200 per tier 2. So, which is why that capping amount for the agent for that tier. So $80,000 a year extra that I would be making. And the crazy part, guys, is that I was making that close to that amount at my full-time job working for the government. So that's $94,000 annually with only 30 agents who cap. So now you can see that this is an exponentially growing opportunity due to duplication. But the really unique thing here that I want to touch upon that's super interesting for me is time freedom. We all know that's the most expensive currency, right? Time. So I do want to give you an example. So what you see here on the right-hand side is actually my partner, Pat. He's based in San Antonio, Texas. From his revenue share, we just took a screenshot. He received over 165,000 revenue share check last month, which is pretty awesome. So the difference though here between a person at a traditional brokerage versus an agent like Pat, who's making a 7-figure income per year in revenue share, which is residual passive income. But because if Pat goes on vacation for a month, doesn't have to answer a single phone call, email, text messages, or anything else, he'll still make over 6-figure income that month without having to worry about ever losing income. Remember, that is why we call it time freedom. That is powerful. And that's how you create a lifestyle, right? And one of the other reason that makes eXp super unique that I do want to touch upon is the fact that eXp, the revenue share that you build is willable. So if you were to pass away, your family or somebody who's in your will can actually inherit your revenue share, which would actually help provide for their life for the rest of their time. So which is why this revenue share really is a security blanket for a lot of family, which you won't be able to get at any other brokerage. It really is a massive exit strategy and a retirement plan for you and your loved ones. So next, what I want to do is, we are a cloud-based brokerage. We're built on innovation. We have tons of smart tools that we have access to. And you're probably wondering what this all means. What do you even mean when you say cloud-based campus? So I'm going to go off, stop sharing this presentation, and I'm going to actually open up eXp World, which is our cloud campus powered by Burbella, and really show you and walk you through what this all like. So when you come into our company, you get access to eXp World, and you have, you're essentially like an avatar. It's going to look the most silliest thing ever. You look like you're part of a game, but this is super powerful because you know what's happening around the world, right? People are super excited about this workplace solutions that Microsoft and Facebook Metaverse is coming in. But the funny thing is that eXp has been doing this for years. So this is me. Hello. So this is my avatar. So what you're looking at right here is we have information desk here. So if you have any questions, you can approach this person, and you can see this mic here. I can unmute and ask our friend right here. And then on the left-hand side, you can see all the flags of the countries that eXp is kind of right now operating in. And I can tell what, so for example, if you're at any other brokerage, and let's say you're having technical issue, you would have to either quickly email your broker or your admin staff at the company and ask them a quick question. Let's say they don't get back to you. You're probably going to throw your laptop in your bag, get ready. If you're like me, you got to do your hair and makeup and get in your car. And if you're like me living in Toronto, you're going to get stuck in probably on the Gardner in a blizzard. And you're probably going to take you a ton of time to get to your brokerage to get this resolved, right? Look how quickly I can do this in the seat of my comfort of my home, just like Metaverse is working on, right? So you're going to tell your avatar to go to, and you can tell yourself again, if you have accounting issues, you have tech support. So for example, like I gave you an example, I'm having some technical issue. I can right now transport my avatar in real time to the tech office. I can walk over here, grab a ticket, come around in real time, get someone to remotely log into my computer. You can see right now it is almost 1 o'clock here Eastern time in Canada. You can see there's a bunch of people all sitting there waiting to service you. So there's about 15 users in here to help waiting there really to service you. And same thing with, for example, if you are someone from, and right now I'm just going to show you the states. For example, we have this for every country. So if you have any questions about, you want to talk to your broker, or you're having some issues about pertaining to one of your transaction and you need your questions answered right away, you're going to come here, grab your ticket, and you're going to come around, and there's a bunch of, you can get self-help here as well. You can go through any of those doors. You can also go into, for example, if you're coming in for training, you can go in here, get access to a number of different help. And then you also have all of your brokers' offices here that you can walk into, get your answered in real time. And the part that I want to stress here, guys, is for those of you that are at another brokerage, you'll notice that your broker wears multiple hats. They're often, a social media expert, doesn't have influences like Mike does, but somehow has the ability to train you on everything, right? They train you on marketing. They're after looking after your paperwork, and not just yours, every other agent at your brokerage, where here we have over 900 staff that are salaried staff within our company that are being paid to help you. And they're all part of different departments. You can come here and get the help that you need. And your broker, it has only one hat, and that to help you with your transactions. So you can come here and you can do that. And also, for example, I'll give you an example of, you know what, there might be a class happening right now, so I might be able to walk into Canadian operation. I'll take you into the Canadian auditorium. So this is literally like for any of you that have seen colleges and university, well, maybe just end it right now. So this is exactly like this is how you go into any of our training. And there's massive auditorium spaces like this where there's a new agent boot camp that we have on a weekly basis that you can come into in real time, be taught by top producing, again, that icon agents at our company about everything that you need to know. And I will show you our training calendar in a second to give you some perspective. So that is how you go into trainings. And then everything we have here, eXp University, let's say if you're like me and Kyle who are looking to grow our team worldwide, we come here into the global operations and we book meetings with the brokers and have tons of conversation in here as well. Now, I'm going to close that and I'm going to now show you our backend services that we have at our company. So when you join our company, you have access to all of your tools in one place like this, and kind of like eXp World. And for any of you that found this exciting and you want to explore eXp World, take a little bit of training without having to be at our company, I can give you access to a guest pass. So message myself or Kyle right after. We do send you an email so we can give you access to a guest pass if you are excited about this opportunity and want to learn more. So at our company, we do have something, all of our tools in one place. So I'm going to just show you a couple of things that we have access to. So we do have access to something called KV Core. If you're following me or even Mike on YouTube, you'll notice that I talk a lot about KV Core. This is something that I love doing. It's a CRM management. It's a 3-in-1 tool. It is a leading technology tool that is a lead generation website tool that houses all of your database. So for example, when you are at another brokerage, you have a profile, right? Where somebody, let's say if you were to share that with anybody for your ads, for your Instagram, like Mike talked about, and if somebody comes to your webpage and they put in, they want to get in touch with you, the funny thing is, who's getting that lead? Your brokerage. Because you're just a profile. That database is not belong to you. Where at KV Core, we have our own personal website. So I'll show this to you. Sorry, guys, it's that little thing at the top. So this is my own personal website. This is powered through KV Core on the back end. So if you visit my website, it's my partner, Josh and I. So if you were to visit our website and you start searching for properties and start clicking, it doesn't let you go further. It pulls your information directly into KV Core. And I get a little ping on my phone saying that I have a lead. So that's how kind of KV Core works. And then I have automated campaigns that are put in place that nurtures them automatically. So I'm somebody I'm a mom, I have 2 kids. I had a full-time job and I needed to, in order for me to really manage my database quickly and to convert people without having to call and text them individually, KV Core was that platform. And you'll hear about it a lot is because if you were to buy this third party outside, it's about $8,000 to $10,000 a year. Here at eXp, you get it for free. And we do have Make It Rain, which is a Google pay-per-click ad through Google Ads that you can run. We do have all of our transactions are done through transaction management, which is SkySlope, where this is where we upload all of our paperwork online. It's out of our hands to our brokerage online. So again, we're a virtual company. All of your equity programs, all of that stock awards that I talked about, all of those, any kind of stock awards and money that you have from the company, it's all going to be tracked here. So again, multiple sources of income, right? And then what I want to show you next is our eXp education calendar, our training calendar. So what you're looking at right here is on the right-hand side is all of our state and province training. And this is where anyone, and this is the icon program. So this is all the top producing agents at our company is putting on all of these courses. Obviously, as you can see, every hour we have trainings, everything you could imagine. From everything from KV Core to how to maximize, to how to bring in lead generation, how to build your business, accounting, really anything you can think about, growing your team, you can find it here for your training. And you can come here and you can log in and opt into any of those. And the next thing that I want to show you is Workplace, Facebook Workplace. So this is our private workplace for us to do business. So just like your personal Facebook, but a little professional. This has everyone that is connected to all of that 65,000 plus agents that we have here at our company is plugged into 3 here. So for example, let's say you have a family member that is looking to move from Toronto to Calgary, where Mike is at. I can come here and put in Calgary agent and I can send them over. So for example, in this case, I put Mike Sherrard, get in touch with him, send him over that referral and make a referral fee in the process. So everyone is connected to here. So our chat is very similar to Facebook Messenger. You can come in here and find any person in here and message them and build your relationship with them, whether it be the broker. And the amazing part is, I'll give you an example. Sashang, I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago about partnering with eXp India, and I have some of my agents that I've been talking to. You can get help with any of the staff member to do any of your paperwork, and essentially all of that is in here, and you can join a number of different groups in here and keep in touch to grow your business. So I'm going to go back to the presentation and talk a little bit about what our group is doing differently. This is probably the moment that you've been waiting for, especially those of you that knew about eXp, and you're probably wondering how this all works. And you know what? There's one more thing I actually forgot to mention is that I am, like I said, I am a mom of two. And when I was thinking about leaving my full-time job, working for the government, which we have an amazing healthcare, I wanted to ensure that my brokerage, because I wanted to get into real estate full-time, that would offer health benefits. So, and at eXp, we do offer health benefits and amazing health benefits. So I do wanted to mention that because that wasn't the case when I was interviewing a lot of other brokerage. So I'm going to get back to now talking about what our group and what this value proposition that we here in Wolfpack have created above and beyond this eXp business model that I wanted to share with you. So what you're looking at right now is called our social media training, which is called the Social Agent Academy that Mike Sherrard, who presented earlier, created for us. It's literally video tutorials that are taking you step by step, showing exactly how to start your channels on all of these platforms that you're looking at right here, and everything from how to create content, build a successful real estate business off of using all of those social media channels. So the amazing thing is I want to show you some amazing examples of two agents in our group that are using this training. So you can even find them on YouTube and look at their videos. Amazing. So you have Sumin right here on the left-hand side. He's actually a new agent in a new city, no experience, and previously had no channel, no videos on YouTube. And he closed over 55 deals in his first 8 months with the Wolfpack. And go look him up on YouTube and you'll find him. He's actually in Texas, in Austin, Texas. And then the next is John. He's on the right-hand side. He's also a new agent, 0 deals for the first 6 months at KW, previously had no channels, no video, and started doing daily calls after first month, averaged about 3 to 5 deals per month. 5 months later, he retired his wife from corporate America after first year because he needed help with this transaction. So his wife is now helping him with his deals. So additional training and support we have here at our company. You do have access to a real estate investment training from Connor Steinberg. He is a #1 real estate investor in the Southern US. And you have access to his real estate investment training. And of course, as you guys all know, that investment is a massive thing when you become a real estate agent and something that you want to take advantage of, right? Because we advise everyone else to do it. And then the second one is Revenue Share and Team Building Academy. Like myself and Connor, we went through this vigorous team building academy, and that's why we have so many tools that we have access to be able to build our team exponentially fast compared to other people at our company. We do have 5 mastermind calls per week, everything from team building to mindset, production. We have on a Friday, all of our people like Pat from San Antonio, he brings on top producing agents and people who've exponentially exploded at eXp, and they come and share their techniques. I also hold my own mastermind call on a Wednesday, everything from marketing strategies to business planning. And you do have access to direct one-on-one support 7 days a week from myself, Kyle, Connor, and Mike. And the best part here, guys, is that because you're part of our group, we care about your growth. So let's say you are an agent that are coming into our company and you obviously probably don't know how to deliver the model. You're probably just starting to take the Team Building Academy courses. So we're here to help you close the deals. We'll attend all of your Zoom calls and we'll help you build your revenue share organization. Next, I wanted to share with you is because I am a co-founder of Marketing Mindset, one of the massive value propositions that I do, if you know some of my agents that are in our group, you'll notice them using all of the social media products. So what we launched is a daily post, a monthly calendar that we launched every single month with hundreds of templates. And the interesting part is why this is so different from things like Canva is they're actually not just editable templates on Canva, they're actually posts that we created for you with strategy. So we tell you exactly what Mike showed you today. So we're actually just doing the work for you. Now we're giving you the exact post, exact copy and hashtag to post on your channel. So this is why it's super important for me, is because I noticed that a lot of our agents were coming to us saying, social media is so hard. I don't know how to use it. We're spending a lot of time spending 2 to 4 hours figuring out what to post. So we were able to put my business partner and I were able to put this product together, and we're giving it free for our agents in our group. And you also do have access to myself as marketing. I worked in marketing for over close to 10 years now in marketing consultations. So you do have access to my calendar. So what I do with you guys is a little bit different than that direct one-on-one support, is where I sit with you, I evaluate your brand, and I give you some things that you could do to elevate your brand, what you could be doing better, how can you change your messaging, are you really reaching the right audience? Often people come and start creating YouTube and Instagram, and all of a sudden you realize all these real estate agents are following you and not really buyers and sellers that you want. So this is where I come in and I really help you evaluate your brand. So now, lastly, now that you've heard our eXp model, you heard about our value proposition as a group and why you should join our group. I do wanted to share with you our fees and our commission and cap here at company. So for some of the US agents that are in our call today, there's no desk fees. We are not a franchise. Remember, we're one international company. There's no royalty fees. So the cap and commission is 80-20, commission split, $16,000 cap. And remember, after you cap, 100% of the commission for the remainder of the year is for you. So there is a $250 cap transaction fee. And then once you cap, the transaction fee, once you cap it, totals to $5,000, that is reduced to $75. So the standard fee for the US is $149 startup fee. So this includes you transferring your license over, the admin fees, and your first month's cloud brokerage fee as well, that $85. And that's per month for all the tools and resources that I've shown you. And there's a $25 broker review fee and a $40 risk management fee. And next, I know there's several Canadian agents that are in here today, very similar commission cap, 80-20, $16,000 cap. And again, 100% of the commission is given to you for the remainder of the anniversary year. And in this case, because of the currency exchange difference, there is a $285 cap transaction fee for Canadians. And once you cap and that totals to $5,700, then the cap transaction fee is reduced to $75. And the standard cost, again, very minimal changes due to currency, is $199 startup fee. Again, includes all of you transferring your license over, your first month cloud brokerage fee, which is $139 a month, $29 brokerage fee, and $17 risk management fee, which only applicable in some provinces. And I know there's a few in here from Ontario, so that is not applicable for us here. And I do wanted to mention one thing about this is that I know there's a few people from South Africa that were in here, I noticed earlier. So if you are from another country that eXp is currently operating in, reply back to our email today to myself or Kyle, and we're happy to break down your model in your country. There's some small differences when it comes to tools and prices, obviously because of conversion. We'll get you the exact information you need to get you started in your country. So now you've heard it all, right? You heard the model. I've given you a really good understanding of the model. I've given you really the value proposition, why our group is a breaking record and why agents in our group is producing, and we have the highest number of producing agents in our group. I want to give you guys the opportunity to join our group. So right after our call, we're going to send you a link to a form. You can apply, you're going to click to apply as an agent, you're going to fill out a form. And depending on where you are in your city, it's going to ask you to name a sponsor within the form or in your independent contract agreement that would be emailed out to you after. You can put the sponsor, myself or Kyle, or somebody who invited you to this call that's in our group, and you will get access to receive all of our resources that we have here that I shared with you. And you become part of our Wolfpack family with myself, Kyle, Connor, and Mike, and we're literally changing our company and the industry.